but we've just seen the animated message from the First Art organisation, which is one of the partners who are involved in the Bolsover Festival of Brass here. They do fantastic work in and around this area. You also hear the last few notes from Foresters Brass 2000, excuse me, by John Dick, conducted by John Davis, and they finished off with the finale from Glorifico Aeternum. Now, before I lose my voice completely, I'm going to hand over to a social media guru, Rachel from First Art, and again tell us there's been a real spike in interest since the championship section came on.
There has.
Where people from all over the place, the response has been fantastic. Tell us a little bit about some of the people who've been logging on, some of the messages that they've been given, and the ones they've been using the hashtag Fest of Brass.
Yeah, okay. So we've got a little call out first. Paisley Pit doing Carols with Semper on the 10th of December. So if you want to get involved with that, it's free. That they'd welcome donations, and it's at 2:30 p.m. We've got a call out to Carol Ball. He plays in Atlantic Brass Band in Philadelphia. So he's been watching and sending us messages. So and then we've had some comments, I think.
Here we go then. Right, shall we wait? Are these nice comments, bad comments? What are they going to be like?
Yeah, it's quite a nice mixture, really. So it's
That's worrying. That's worrying.
Just out of time for the bad.
Just go for it, girl. Go for it.
We've had a comment from Derek Worley. He says, bands themselves remaining traditional, not the conductors. A comment from Kate Locke. See what brass bands do these days. Amazing musicians and great entertainment.
Lovely.
Excellent.
Matthew John Shaw says, listening to the discussion, as an arranger, the difficulty is getting copyright permission for arrangements.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
And then the final comment came from Max Stanard Music. He says, definitely think live streaming contest is the way forward. He says it's like having match of the day on all day, but with brass bands.
Match of the day. We've got a Scotsman, is Alan Hansen there. There we go. I don't know, me and Alan Shearer.
Which one of them's going to
He looks like Alan Shearer, doesn't he?
You're going to present it in the shop, so that's a big question.
I tell you what, too many crisps.
Got the ears for it.
Yeah, you do look a bit like Alan Shearer. Yeah, let himself go a bit. You're still looking good, my boy.
Shearer was a better trombone player.
He was.
How true that is, Kenny. How true that is.
Well, we've got to go, also, thanks for doing that, we've also got to say a quick hello to all the people in the bar. I understand there's been record bar take-ins, so as you know, traditionally at the brass band competition, bandsmen are not actually listening to the performances, but they're actually in the bar.
There's a screen there.
There's a screen there.
There's a screen
in
there.
that
So
case, my apologies
they're
to all of you
multitasking.
outside. How I could even dare to think that you'd be joining a drink
David
at a brass
Chow's
band
was telling me,
competition these days. But if you're out there, we'll give you a quick wave and hope you have a pint. We're working hard in here as we're going along. Before the next band, I better tell you who the next band are. It's the Shepherd Group, which is going to be conducted by Richard Wilton. They are starting off, I think you can taste from what they're doing, it's going to be an American theme. It's the Highlights from Chicago by Fred Ebb, arranged by Ian McKnight. G. Officer Krupke by Leonard Bernstein, arranged by Simon Kerwin. Sunrise over Blue Ridge by Dan Price. Under the Boardwalk, Kenny Young and Arthur Resnick, arranged by Philip Harper, featuring flugel and tuba soloist Paul Stamp and Joe Stead. And they are finishing off with American Salute, written by Morton Gould, arranged by Simon Kerwin. So they're just going to come up in a couple of minutes' time. So just as we go from there, when you're looking at championship section bands, gents, you know, the bar is raised, isn't it? So they're much more intense programs.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, the more intense, not always necessarily better balanced, I think it's fair to say. But as you say, the bar is raised considerably, and you expect a considerably higher standard. Some interesting choices. I mean, the program that you've just mentioned is obviously, as you say, very much American themed, and I think we've got some interesting music to look forward to. But again, I think it's about the balance of the programs. I mean, the music is probably going to be a little harder technically, yes, but I think we're really going to be looking out for not just the quality of the playing, but again the quality of the programs in the championship section.
Just to add to what
and
we
the
were saying
thoughts
earlier,
behind them.
What we were saying earlier, I think looking ahead to the programmes we'll have in the top section here, they are a bit more current than what we had in the first section. And it goes back to what we were saying also earlier about the major entertainment contests in Norway and at Gateshead. You know, the repertoire that we do here there, it does kind of bleed its way down through the sections, and it just maybe takes a bit longer to reach the first section. What you've got to remember, of course, is a lot of that stuff that you do hear at Brass and Concert every year. You know, again, you might get 20, 30 new pieces. Some of it's actually really difficult. First section bands just might find it a bit harder than they would like, you know, to play at an event like this. So it's quite understandable in many ways. But we've certainly got more current repertoire coming up.
I'm going to say that then. Tell me who were the two main people who've actually sang Under the Boardwalk. The main group was?
The Drifters.
The Drifters. Remember them? And who was the...
Kenny remembers it.
Yeah, Kenny remembers the original Drifters.
That was in the band.
He remembers the chocolate. He remembers the chocolate bar. He does the Drifters. That's about as much as he got with that one there. And who was the American film star?
The American film star.
Yeah.
Under the Boardwalk. Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
In between putting on a vest and saving
Yeah.
the world in Nakatomi Tower, whatever he was, wasn't it? And Die Hard. And he was doing that. So there's plenty of good stuff that we're going to do that.
I thought you were going to catch us out there, Aaron,
I
didn't
was
you?
going to catch you out. My one was at the 49th parallel, but you got it in the end, and it was the Second World War film. That was good. The all-encompassing all-cover won that for that one. So the other one as well, I don't know what the original with the G Officer Croupier is, but I remember Whitburn doing this one, and he was supposed to be, of course, in a New York accent.
It's for West Side Story, isn't it?
It is. Not West Side Glasgow Story though, was it? It was the most amazing. It was like a lineup of Sean Connery actors. It was all coming up with, yeah. Never mind the American accent. I'm just gonna do it Scottish, and it was the same. But it was really fantastic stuff for there. And going back to Steve before we go back to the audience. So entertainment as well. Hopefully we're going to hear, as you say, much more intense programs. You know, technically much more difficult programs as well. But again, much more current programs. As you say, these
So
bands
far.
are showing ambition.
Yes, they are, and more power to their elbow. It's interesting. One or two of the bands are the same from this morning, but they're showing ambition in this section, but not when they played in the first section. That's kind of interesting. So, but yeah, no, the programs look good and much more up to date, and I'm sure it's going to engage the audience and those that are watching at home, whatever you're doing while you're watching, cleaning the house or multitasking and
What do you
watching the
normally
Ryder
do?
Cup at the same time.
What do you normally do on a Sunday afternoon, Steve? Then is it practice or are you flying around the world?
Flying around or
Flying
practicing or trying to be a good husband and doing a bit of cleaning and cooking. But I don't have many Sundays at home. So I have one and I quickly gave it up to come and
One
be
Sunday.
here.
One Sunday home, then we dragged you in.
Yeah,
with it there.
come to
See?
Bolsover. I have no regrets.
You know, you could be
Misa,
clean.
I don't think you're watching, but hi. Don't
Yeah.
forget a few jobs you need to do. But
When we get back, we're going to clean the gutter in. That's going to be the
definitely
separate-
practice tonight.
I'm sure she'll thank you for that, Steve.
Yeah,
I'm sure she
it
will.
is for that
Got
one.
lost in translation.
Well, us three are always most probably at a brass band competition somewhere. So this is like a day's work for us, but it's somebody's got to do it, haven't they? So it's not that too bad. So there we are, gentlemen. This is going to be the second band of the 13. A bit of a marathon, but it's going to be highly entertaining. So without any further ado, we'll go back to the hall, and I'm quite sure Simone Rebello there is waiting for us for the third band that's going to be taking to the stage.